Let us now work on calculating our high score. So now what we want to do, first time user is playing and user has got 50 points out of 70. Out of 70, he has scored 50 points. So what happens, first time this 50 will be set as high score. And second time when he is playing, he has scored 45 out of 70. So again in this case 50 will be our high score. Then finally third time when he is playing, he scored 60 out of 70. Then what happens? 60 will be our new high score. So now we are going to work on this logic. So first of all, when we want to display the high score, when our game is getting finished, only then we have to display our high score. Again, high score is updated on screen based on different point. So here inside initial state, I will be creating one variable. I will write high score. Initial value, I'm just going to give 0. Why? Because initially we will not have any high score. So I have given the value as 0. I will remove this t. Now this high score has to be displayed in our end quiz component. So here I will be passing as a prop. Open this end quiz and inside this I'm just going to accept the prop. And here in place of this points, I'm just going to render my high score. Save it. Come here. Now here I am having high score is not defined. Why? Because we have not destructured that. And here I will be pasting my high score. So from my state, I'm just going to destructure. Now if I see, I will be having the result. Now what I want to do, I will just come to components. And inside this, I'm just going to change my status. Here I will be writing finished. As soon as I hit enter, you can see successfully I am inside my end quiz component and my high score is nothing but 0. In place of 65 static data, now successfully I am able to display 0. Why? Because in our state we have given high score as 0. Now what we have to do? We just have to update our high score. And when we will update, as soon as we click on the finish button, we are going to calculate the high score, because when we click on finish button, we will be redirected to this component. So now inside reducer, inside this case, we are just going to update our high score. As soon as my status becomes finished, then only I just have to calculate my high score. So here I will be checking if state dot points, okay, whatever points user has received, if that point is greater than state dot high score. If it is, then what I will do, I'm just going to assign this state dot points. So if my state dot points, if it is greater than my state dot high score, then successfully I'm just going to assign state dot points as my new high score. If not, simply I'm just going to return state dot high score. So for example, user has scored 50 points. So now initially 50 is greater than 0. Yes, it is. So 50 will be assigned to this high score. So here I will be having 60. Now my current high score is 50. 60 is greater than 50. Yes, it is. So now 60 will be assigned high score. But now user has scored 40 points. Now here 40 will be passed. 40 is greater than 60. No, it is not. So I'm just going to return my default high score as the new high score. That is 60. So this is how we are going to update our high score. Now I will come here, refresh this, click on start. Just open this. Now here you can see initially my high score is 0. I will click on this keys. Now high score will not be calculated because that will only be calculated when I click on finish button. Now here just focus on these points. I will click on this const, click on next, render. click on next, front end, click on next, click on next, use effect, next. Now I got 45 points. Again, I will click on next. Here you can see I am having 55. I will just select wrong answers now. Now you can see my points is nothing but 55. As soon as I click on finish button, only then my high score value will be calculated. As soon as I click on this finish button, just focus on this high score. My new high score is 55 and here 55 is displayed. But now the problem is user is not having this restart quiz as active. So what happens? As soon as the user refresh, entire state value will be updated and we will be having default values. Again, when user is starting the quiz, all the state variables will be set to default value. So this time, whatever point he will be getting set as current high score. But we do not want that. After finishing the quiz, if the user is reloading the page, only then all the variables will be set and it will be calculated from scratch. But if the user clicks on restart button, that high score should be present inside the state and based on that high score, we are going to update our high score as soon as we click on finish button. So later when we see how to restart the quiz, then we will see how the high score is updated based on different values.